Why does loyalty matter so much in a marriage? This is my response video to a reel that I put out a couple days ago. If you haven't seen that reel, I'm going to link it down below so you guys can go and check it out over on Instagram. And I think I've had about almost 2,000 comments. We're already well above the 2 million views on that reel. It was pretty spicy because I was basically sharing the story of a small bit of conflict my wife and I had when my my eldest daughter called me a jerk face. This reel is for the people in my community. This reel is to get inside of my head, mostly because I've always been transparent about my own marriage. I believe that I want to be an open book to you guys. I will give you insights into my marriage, into my relationship, because I want to be relatable. I want you to see that, you know what, I have my own struggles in my own relationship. My wife and I fight 4 times a year for a maximum, it's usually about an hour each time. So what, 4 hours a year I have an argument with my wife. That doesn't mean that we don't still have struggles. What happened the other night with my daughter was my wife challenged me in the moment when I was saying to my daughter, I don't appreciate your lack of respect by calling me a jerk face. I had to call it audible at that moment. I had to hit pause and say, you know what, there's something going on here that's really important, because what's missing is loyalty between a husband and wife. And I don't think I can stress this enough, why it's important for a husband and wife to have an incredible amount of loyalty for one another first, above everyone, above children, family, friends, community. When we come together in marriage, is we decide to be one. We focus on sameness. We focus on a united path throughout this life forward. People that struggle with loyalty, couples that struggle with loyalty, I will often see this in relationships where, you know, one of the partners will have a big issue with a mother-in-law or with sister-in-laws or brother-in-laws. And it happens all the time where one partner doesn't automatically come to the defense of their spouse. And then you talk about these divided loyalties that people have between their family of origin and now their spouse. We had other couples that we were friends with, and one particular couple treated me quite poorly. My wife kept trying to defend them. And I remember how difficult that was for me, because it really tested my loyalty. It made me think that she was choosing these random friends over me and couldn't see that they were treating me poorly. Couples never do well when you don't feel like you have each other's back 100% of the time. The reality is that if you don't strengthen that loyalty with your spouse, you'll end up like my mother, divorced. Now, it wasn't my mom's fault. She was an amazing woman, always has been. But the husbands, my father, my stepfather in her life, had zero loyalty. They all stepped outside. Loyalty to me is everything, because it is about this journey that I'm on with my wife that I never intend to get off until you take the last air out of my lungs. But the big difference here, where I draw the line with my own children, I never use it with my wife, is around personal attacks. Because personal attacks speak of your identity. If I'm a jerk face, that becomes my identity. If you're an asshole, that becomes your identity. And let me ask you something. Why is it, do you think, that your spouse fell in love with you and you fell in love with them in the first place? You fell in love because of how they made you feel about yourself in their presence, and vice versa. Supporting people's identity, making people feel good, making people feel good about themselves. Imagine we did this out in the world all the time. I think we would have a lot less conflict going on. But that understanding that protecting people's identity is what we're all here for. That is the thing I preach all the time on Instagram, here on YouTube. People lose curiosity when they stop liking your identity. So when someone checks out emotionally and they've decided they've written you off and they don't like who you are anymore, they will lose any interest on asking you questions about yourself, questions about your values, your morals, your beliefs. They will have no interest in sitting at a dinner table with you and talking. When you stop liking the person that you're married to, that wall's going to come up of resentment. The lack of curiosity is going to grow, and you're going to see, you know, a bigger divide, a bigger distance between the two of you, a bigger emotional disconnection. So the moral of this entire video is to protect someone's identity. Be angry with them, yell at them, dislike what they said, what they've done, but protect their identity, their self-image in your own mind, so that you can still maintain that curiosity. Thank you guys so much for being here on this video with me and this journey on Instagram. Come and follow me over there if you haven't yet. It's Relationships with Jonathan. Thank you guys so much for leaving comments and liking and subscribing to this YouTube channel. You guys are a tremendous support as we continue to grow. And I just want to say, have a fantastic day. Bye now.